Why get a buyer's consult? The simple answer is preparation is key. So, one of the most overlooked, yet one of the most important things in the real estate industry for buyers out there is the buyer's consultation. The buyer's consultation sets the entire stage of your home buying process, and I promise you, this is not something that you want to pass up. Any of the realtors out there that are great at what they do will stress the importance of the buyer's consultation. So, why do you need one? Well, this is where we as the realtor connect with you, the buyer, and understand more about yourself, your needs, your wants, and your situation to help provide you the best possible service that we can. Because at the end of the day, when I'm out there helping a buyer, my job is to provide the best possible service that I can. Going into trying to help somebody blind, not knowing anything about them, their family, their situation, or their needs is just a recipe for disaster, and it just will turn out to be a horrible experience for everyone involved. And by the time you get to the closing table, you're not even going to feel like your realtor has done a good job for you. During this consultation, you're going to go over a few key pieces of information. The first of those is going to be your finances. This is where we have to start with everybody in the process, simply because if the finances aren't there, the rest of the conversation doesn't matter because you aren't able to go out and buy a home yet. So before I even send you to a lender or try to get you pre-approved for a mortgage, the first thing we're going to talk about is your finances. How much money do you make? What kind of debts do you have? And how much money do you have set aside to make this purchase? Along with that, we're also going to talk about things like your credit score and how long you've worked at your job, because that plays into your financial health. Once we get the hard stuff out of the way, now we get into a little bit more of the fun part of the conversation. This is where I ask questions about you and your situation and get to know you and potentially your family as we go through this process. So we talk about things like how many children you have, who's all going to be moving with you, what are things that are important to you when you make this move. These could be things like certain school districts for your children to make sure that they get a good education. This could be a certain location to be in close proximity to your work, or maybe nearby your family members like I did, and I moved 2 doors down from my parents, because as parents age, you may want to be nearby to make sure you can be there to help care for them in their older years. This is also where we're going to talk about things that are important to you in the house that you're looking for. How many bedrooms you need, how many bathrooms you're looking for. Do you want a big yard so that way your dogs can run around, or do you actually want a small yard so you don't have a lot to take care of because you work a lot or like to go on vacation? Do you want to be close to downtown so you have more things to do, or do you want to be out in the middle of absolute nowhere so nobody bugs you and you can be by yourself and enjoy your own thoughts? All of these things are super important to you as the buyer, which means that they're equally as important to me as your realtor, because this is going to set the stage to help me dictate how I'm going to set up a search for you, what homes I'm going to be showing you, and the things that I'm going to look for in properties as we find them online and we go through them in person. I might even remind you along the way about some of the things that you said that were important to you, because it's very possible throughout this process that these things could change. Once I get to know you a little bit better, then we're going to talk about what we can expect from each other throughout this process and how I'm going to deliver on my promise for that excellent service that I give to every single one of my clients. This is when I'm going to talk about the hours that I work, how I schedule showings with somebody, what I do to get you set up on an independent search from Zillow and all of those other sites that I'm sure you don't want to be on if you don't have to be, and talking about how the process is going to unfold and what systems I have in place to make sure that you're getting premier service throughout the entirety of the process. Some of these things might include my assistant, how she works, and what things you're going to receive from her. What kind of communication do you prefer? Are you a texter? Are you a caller? Do you like email because that's easier for you to do at work? All of these things, even though they're small little details, they're all mega important as we go through this process, because it's going to guarantee that we stay on the same page. Because the second that you and I don't stay on the same page throughout this process, That's the second that everything breaks down and chaos will ensue. A good realtor is going to prioritize processes and systems to make sure that although every person is different and we give a unique personal touch to every single person that we do business with, that we still make sure that the same standards are being held throughout the entirety of the process, no matter whether this is your first home, your 50th home, you're buying a $10 million estate, or you're going to buy a mobile home in a mobile home park. Every deal is important and everyone deserves specific care and attention to all of those details that really matter to make sure, again, that you're getting premier service. Now that we've gotten to know each other and we've talked about how I work and what you can expect out of this process, the final piece of this puzzle is going to be going over the paperwork. In real estate, you're really not married to an agent unless you sign paperwork with them. Up until that point, they're really just a person talking to you about real estate. You have no obligation to them and they have no obligation to you. There's several things, at least in Pennsylvania, that we have to go over with every single person that we talk to about real estate. And in order to work with an agent, there's certain contracts that you have to put in place and sign those contracts to make sure that they are going to be the exclusive agent that you work with. It's really important to go over this documentation for a couple different reasons. The first being, this is going to ensure that the realtor can put the correct preparation and care into taking care of you as a client. Something that I stress to everybody that I ever work with is, listen, I get it. I don't like contracts myself. And I promise you, if I'm doing a bad job at being a realtor for you, I will absolutely let you out of this contract and let you go work with somebody of your choosing. Now, of course, that's never happened because I'm a fantastic realtor for everybody out there, but I put that precaution in place because I know it's uneasy having that feeling of signing a contract. But what this allows me to do is it gives me the ease of knowing that you're not going behind my back and working with another agent, because I don't get paid until the day that you close on a home. So I can put in all of the groundwork, show you tons of homes, give you tons of advice, and be the best realtor out there for you ever. But then you decide on a last minute whim to call a Zillow agent and go see a home with that person. They're the one that ends up getting that commission, even though I'm the one that put in all the work. So having these contracts put in place protects me from making sure that I'm the one earning the paycheck when it comes time for that to be there. And it also protects you from making sure that you know how much I get paid, when I get paid, and who it's due from. That way there's no tricks, there's no hidden agendas, and there's none of that car salesman-y vibe that you get from people that just feel like they're being shysty with the money that they're making off of whatever they're helping you with. So, in summary, why get a buyer's consult? The simple answer is preparation is key. Knowing the person that you're going to work with is great for both sides of the equation, whether you're the buyer or the realtor in any situation. It protects you, it protects the realtor, and it ensures that you're going to have a smooth transaction and a smooth process, because buying a home is one of the most important things that you're ever going to do in your life, and it's possibly going to be the biggest financial decision that you ever make in your life. So making sure that you know who you're working with, that you're going to like who you're working with, and that you can trust who you're working with is going to make sure that you feel confident and comfortable with your real estate transaction.